Hello and welcome to the Market Forge. My name is Brad Hesselberg, and this is where we track the infrastructure shaping the future economy. We're talking about AI, blockchain, energy, automation, and what we want to do is translate that into clear messaging, clear positioning for you to understand. Like we're not just watching what's on the surface, but we're watching what's being built underneath. Because if you understand the infrastructure, you're going to understand where the wealth is flowing. And most investors, unfortunately, are looking at the wrong layer. What they're looking at is price. And why do they look at price? Well, because the world around them basically tells them that's what they're supposed to do. Their financial advisor is likely telling them to look at price. They're not talking about infrastructure or what's being put together. The TV certainly is. I mean, they keep you current on what's happening right now, but how often do they tell you what's being built and where money is likely headed? Obviously, we know AI is a big talking point. So, how do we invest in AI? Oh, we buy Nvidia and we buy, Nasdaq, right? But they're just looking at price. And people tend to chase price because it's emotional, because they have a fear of missing out. But very rarely do they take a step back and try and understand the ripple effect of these things that are being put in place. And that's why I'm talking about AI. That's why I'm talking about blockchain, robotics. Like those are just talking points. They're just infrastructure that's being built. And then we want to understand what the ripple effect looks like and how we can build wealth doing that. Now, you might ask, well, okay, Brad, well, if price isn't the driver, then what are we looking for? What we're looking for is, like I said, the ripple effect, right? So, how, if price goes up, okay, so we identify an asset or a asset class has a price going up. Okay, maybe that helps us identify what's doing well, what seems to be having money poured into it. But then what we do is we take a step back and then we want to identify if money's going into it, what's the next layer that it could possibly go into? Okay, and that's where we talk about capabilities, right? So let's put an example out there. And this is an example that I like to lean into because I don't think that people have quite gotten their finger on it yet, and it feels like an opportunity to me. So AI has continued to expand. We know that. We're well aware of that. But what you've started seeing early this year is the expansion of AI bots or building workflows, having AI do some of the basic things that you might have an employee do. Eventually, in fact, it's happening right now very quietly. AI agents are able to transact. You're able to give them dollars and then they're able to go out and invest. They're able to buy ads. They're able to build different things using cash. But here's the challenge in that and where the opportunity is. AI cannot open a brokerage account. AI cannot open a checking account. But what they can do is they can hold a digital wallet. They can transact via the blockchain. Right? So that's where, in my opinion, blockchain really comes in. Is it's not necessarily the layer for finance for humans, which it will be over time, but right now the most immediate need is for AI. And as the AI economy expands, as these bots actually start to essentially build their own communities or build their own infrastructure, they're going to need a way to transact, and they're going to do it exclusively on the blockchain. And you might ask, are we seeing, new infrastructure? Are we seeing new capabilities coming right now? And I do 100%. If you look back on history, the people that did the best, the ones that had legacies, they weren't just good investors. They had a legacy that you can still see to this day. Industrial Revolution is a really good example. If you go back and you look at how they transformed into the Industrial Revolution, there was several people whose names you still hear today. Schwab, the Rothschilds, that they still have a legacy today because their lineage, the people that were around in the 1930s, they saw the opportunity and they started putting attention, money, and infrastructure around those things that they could clearly see were going to be developed and be a huge influence on the world in the next 100 years. We are there right now. You don't have to be worried that you've missed it already. Yeah, you've probably missed the Nvidia trade until it pulls back and you get an opportunity to get back in, but AI is just starting to expand. And if you can identify where it's going, then you're going to be able to grow wealth and legacy based off those things. That's what the Market Forge is all about. I'm passionate about these topics. These are the things that I spend my time, my free time, learning and understanding. And my goal is to relay that back to you as best I can. Because I know that if I bring value to those around me, that value will be given to me, not directly, maybe directly, but also indirectly. So that's my goal here. Look, the fact of the matter is that most people don't know what's going on around them. They will not recognize this until it's very obvious. But the infrastructure is being built. It's not done yet. It's in its infancy. And the opportunity has not yet played out, but most people will miss it. But I'm going to tell you right now, I have no intention of missing it, and those that follow along, they won't miss it either. The goal is to understand what's forming. That's what we do here. And if you're someone who wants to understand where the world is going, not just where it's been, subscribe and follow along. Because the future economy isn't something that arrives all at once. It's going to take time, but it's being built right now, one layer at a time, and we're going to watch it happen in real time. Take care.